Welcome to Basic and Bookish Podcast, the perfect place to crash out over our favorite books and connect with readers just like you. I'm Kinsey.
And I'm Karly.
We are here today with Meghan Le Fay, author of her debut book, Wings of Life, Book 1 in the Dragonbound Chronicles, which has already received praise from Publishers Weekly, Kirkus Reviews, and Booklist.
We are so excited to speak with you today. Thank you for joining us, Meghan.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you.
We are so excited you're here. We will start this episode with a spoiler-free segment where we get to know Meghan, her writing process, and why you should read Wings of Life. After that, a clear spoiler warning will be provided before switching over to our spoiler-filled segment where we will dive into what readers want to know most after reading Wings of Life and what's next in the Dragonbound Chronicles.
If you'd like to skip the ads and have access to full video formats, it's available now on Patreon. That link can also be found in our show notes. Okay, so to start off in 1 minute or less, how would you describe Wings of Life for readers looking for their next romantasy read? And don't worry, we will not be timing you.
I feel like Wings of Life is at its heart a self-discovery tale. You know, we follow Sarai of Cavendish as she is sent off to the enemy kingdom to the north to marry the heir. You know, arranged marriage is a forced betrothal. Mm-hmm. But her father, the Margrave, he sent her there with ulterior motives. There is a dark threat that is looming to the south, and Inra, where Sarai is from, is losing entire squadrons of soldiers to these mysterious dark creatures, including her brother. Then lands to the north, Ritland, they are able to fight the forces back pretty much with no problem, and Inra is growing increasingly desperate. So Sarai is sent there kind of with a secret journal and a secret code and a prayer to uncover the strength of the writ and discover if somehow Inra can steal or leverage that power for themselves. However, while there, Sarai begins to fall in love with the land and its people, particularly one brooding weapon master who really catches her eye that she's training with daily. And then all at once, she uncovers the secret to their strength. It is a living, breathing dragon hidden within the center of the writ. Throughout the rest of her journey, Sarai needs to decide where her loyalties truly lie, what she's going to do with her newfound knowledge and power, and ultimately where to give her heart.
That was perfect.
That was perfect. That was so good.
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever explained anything succinctly, so I'm so impressed.
I know.
It was so much practice, let me tell you.
It paid off.
It paid off.
Yeah.
All right. When did your writing journey begin? And can you tell us what your debut author experience has been like?
Yes. My baby writing journey began, this is a funny memory. Okay. When I was I want to say 12, I got grounded for swearing at my brother. He deserved it.
Of course.
They usually do.
Yes. But I did at that age have a computer in my room, and I was allowed not to chat with my friends, of course, not to be on the internet, but I had access to Word, and I started writing a story to occupy my time. And I just found that I loved doing that. So it kind of ruminated through, most of my schooling as an adolescent was about writing a lot of academic papers. But then I went to college for creative writing. And then my life took a left turn where, things happened after I graduated. I need to have money. I needed to get a job. And eventually, 15 years later, while writing just as a hobby and as a passion project, I decided to take a chance on myself, did some calculated risk taking, and left my job, my full-time paid job, to be a full-time author. And then, very, very lucky on my part, very quickly within a month, got myself through the query trenches and found an agent. And 6 weeks later, we sold my trilogy, my debut trilogy, to my amazing publisher. And from there, I'm just sort of so overwhelmed to say that it's all been good news. The response to the book has been so good. We're already headed to a second print run. And yeah, so it's been amazing.
That's
incredible.
amazing. We are so excited for you. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Which trope are you most looking forward to writing in the future?
Ooh. Okay. I don't know if it's a trope.
Okay. That's fair.
We'll take it.
I have a plan for an upcoming, I'm sort of loosely calling it fairy tale retelling, but it's not really, it's like very, very loosely the idea of common fairy tales. And I have one that I'm trying to sort of flip on its head and tell it as a revenge story instead of a love story. And so I'm really excited about that.
We love revenge stories, so I'm very excited about that. I did notice on your social media that you were reading Once Upon a Broken Heart. And was that any sort of research or inspiration for this?
No, actually, I had that idea before reading that book. I actually read Caraval, and then for some reason haven't had my hands on the other books in that series. But just by chance, a friend gave me Once Upon a Broken Heart that we did an annotation and like swap books. And so that was the book I was assigned to read, and I ended up loving it, though. It's a great book.
It's so whimsical. It's got like a storybook feel to it. And it's both whimsical, but also very dark in a way. It's got an interesting juxtaposition to it. And so I saw that you're reading that. And I'm like, oh, I hope she enjoyed it because I loved that book.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I mean, I don't know. I'm just a sucker for a character like Jax, so...
Yeah,
there's that.
Me too. Yeah, aren't we all? We have to talk about the absolutely gorgeous artwork and overall design for your book. It is so beautiful. What was your reaction when you first saw it?
Oh my God, tears. So many tears.
Yes.
So many tears. Sort of shock as well. The first iteration of the cover was also gorgeous, but it's even more gorgeous in the final version, of course. And where it started to where it became with then all the end papers and the sprayed edge is just like this designer just somehow magically reached into the depths of my heart and like pulled out all of my favorite things and put them on that book. And I'm obsessed with every piece of it.
Do you have a favorite detail from the design?
Yes. I love it's on the sprayed edge and in the end paper, but particularly on the sprayed edge. There's a dragon right in the middle, a little dragon face.
Oh.
And like you don't necessarily notice it at first. It kind of just looks like a swirl and then it's a dragon and I love that.
I love that.
No, it's so beautiful. I love having the book on my shelf. It's just stunning.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your little revenge plot book that you might want to write in the future. Do you have any other book ideas that you're looking forward to diving into after the Dragonbound Chronicles? Perhaps something with mermaids that we saw?
Oh, yes. Actually, that's my current work in progress. And the fairy tale retelling is a series that I'm working on. And the one that I'm writing right now is a dark mermaid tale, very incredibly loosely around the idea of the Little Mermaid. Only similarities is there's like a female mermaid and a male love interest, and she goes to his island. And that's pretty much the only thing that's... Oh, and she has 5 sisters, not 6. But that's it. That's the similarities. And from there, it's very dark and twisty and sort of assassin-y.
Oh,
I love that. I'm going to be all over that.
Yeah.
You made a Threads post where you specified that your books will include gender diversity, racial diversity, LGBTQI plus characters, and inclusive overtones. Did you feel supported by the industry and readers in that intention?
So far, yes. I haven't had any negative reactions. I've only had people with positive responses, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. So good job, readers.
Yeah, I'm so glad. We saw that post. We loved your Threads post on that. I also just want to shout out, we loved the mention that there will not be warnings for race, gender, or orientation in your book. So we loved that post.
Thank you.
It's like, why do you need a content warning for people existed.
Yeah.
Like, that's just real life.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I feel that so strongly and so passionately, and exactly what you just said. I'm not going to warn you that this book is about people.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. We,
Yeah.
we, as you can tell, we snooped your social media before this interview.
I love
She's
it.
like, oh, no.
You like dug deep. You're so good at that.
Can you tell us when book 2, Scales of Flame, will be released?
I can, because it is available for pre-order already from your favorite retailer. The release date is November 17th.
That's
Oh,
so
this year.
exciting.
This year. Mm-hmm.
That's like 6 months. Yeah.
It's just in time for the holidays. You could pre-order that, have it just in time for your holiday vacation.
Read it over your Thanksgiving break.
Exactly.
That's what I plan to do. Well, listen to the audiobook for
Exactly.
me because I know what happens.
Oh, perfect.
But would it make us depressed over the holidays? That's the question.
No comment?
Oh, no.
I don't know. I think it would just make people really excited. And, it's the middle of a book. So,
It is.
we can't expect a nice, happy conclusion yet.
That is true.
That's
Oh
fair.
my goodness. Now I'm nervous. Is there anything else you'd like to tell new readers about Wings of Life before we move on to the spoiler section?
Well, one thing that I love about Wings of Life, and that hopefully readers will love too, is that I feel that it's very fantasy first. It is definitely romantasy. There is a love story that goes through it that's woven into the plot, and there's some spice in there too. But I feel that it's very fantasy first. I tried to make the world building really approachable so it wouldn't feel like a chunky fantasy novel, but it is a little bit of a chunky fantasy novel.
I mean, that's why we read fantasy, because we love our chunky books, right?
Me too.
Yeah.
We will now be diving into the spoiler-filled portion of this episode. So if you have not yet read Wings of Life, this is your chance to pause the episode and run, don't walk, to get Megan's book. We've included links to order in the show notes, as well as links to Megan's socials. Make sure to come back and finish this episode once you have had a chance to finish Wings of Life.
Okay, so starting off easy here, which point of view is your favorite to write?
Oh, I love all of them. This is a hard question. You said easy, and that was a bald-faced lie. I love writing Saray because I love her journey and her transformation. And I love her snarkiness and the back and forth that she has with her dragon. But I love writing Eldrith too, because there's like a darker part of him that I feel comes through when I write him. He's, a little bit harder, far more prone to cursing when he's talking and things like that. But I also really like writing about Bale. I like his personality. I like how he reacts to people. So yeah, I like all three.
Can we expect the same POVs in book 2?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Any new POVs, or are we sticking to those 3?
Maybe.
Okay, I guess there are other champions out there. So, what was your creative process like in determining which lifelike colors would represent certain emotions?
Oh, that's a great question. And I wish I could splash up everything on my screen. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it to myself because it's absolute mayhem. But I have an actual color wheel of emotions and labels for all the different emotions on the wheel with the colors that I felt best matched up. And then also I have asterisks in between for the extra emotions that I added. And number one, it's so I can keep track of it all and make sure I didn't duplicate things up. But when I was pulling from colors, I would do things like I would research, like if it's a color of a flower, I would research the properties of that flower and why it's relevant. Or if it's a color of a stone, I might look up what are some of the attributes attributed to that particular stone, like garnet or something, and see how that might play in.
I love
Me
that.
too.
It definitely felt really intentional as I was reading. And so that was one of the big things I wanted to ask you, because I was like, this is just so unique. And I feel like I haven't seen that really done before in part of world building. And so props to you. I just really enjoyed that aspect of the story.
Yeah.
Good.
When we both were done with the book, I think that was one of the first things we talked about was how unique that concept was and how much we enjoyed it in the book.
Awesome.
So speaking of intentional things in the book, the naval battle scenes were so fascinating. Can you share about how you created the scenes and any research that went into it?
Lots of research.
Yeah, you could feel it when you read it. It felt so real.
Mm-hmm.
So I did quite a bit of research into Viking ships.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my own liberties because they're not Vikings. They are, they are the British, the Rit, and they are not a direct lift. But I started with the influence of Viking ships and then looked up medieval ships as well and looked up videos on sailing and all kinds of things like that. And a lot about combat in general, because that's not my forte. I'm not, in case you can't tell, I'm not a martial artist over here.
Yeah.
So I put a lot of research into just figuring some of those things out. And I've learned some really fun things along the way. Just about, like one that I would never in a million years have thought of is, I've read so many stories about women wielding daggers. And I'm like, that's so cool. And I love that idea. And then it's like, that's like the worst weapon to use because you have to be in really close combat and you're generally fighting against swords. And that's a terrible idea because you're just going to end up impaled before you even get close enough to strike. Things I would never have thought of or recognized on my own. So I learned a whole lot along the way with all that research.
How much time would you say you spent in the research stage? Like, did you do all of the research as part of your world building before you started putting your first draft on paper? Or did you kind of research along the way?
Definitely along the way. The way my brain works, I cannot research everything first and then begin. I know there are a lot of authors with success with that, and I cannot. So what I do is I start, and then when I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I need to learn this thing to be successful, then it's like pause, research for a while, come back and keep writing.
That's pretty similar to myself. I get too impatient. I'm like, I got to get to the story. I'll plot as much as I can now, but I can't research everything all at once.
Yeah.
So interesting. Thank you. Now, as a former glasses wearer, I definitely noticed that Sarai, unlike most romantasy FMCs, wore glasses for the first portion of the book. Was this decision made to show a difference in her senses once she was bound to her dragon? Or did you also want to include glasses rep in your book in general?
A little bit all of the above. One of the reasons why I chose glasses and wanted to use them is, yes, there's the physical aspect that, her vision changes. But I also wanted it to be a metaphor for her transformation, because the point when she finally abandons her glasses is the point where she has started to abandon her old life. And while she may not be conscious of it, it's apparent to those around her because, hey, there's something missing from her face.
Yeah, I loved talking about that with Kinsey because it was one of the very first things I think we noticed in the book that we clocked. We're like, oh, she's got glasses. Like you never see an FMC with glasses. So that was really fun, and we enjoyed that.
And I will also say I'm a little bit selfish in it because I do wear contacts daily, but I have terrible, terrible vision. And there are so many times that I think about, oh my gosh, I would have such a handicap if I were in one of these worlds. Just having this vision. I mean, that's probably why, before the invention of glasses, people who didn't have good vision kind of didn't do well. So I wanted that.
I would not have survived. I actually have had LASIK, but before I did, my vision was minus 650 in each eye, and so I literally could only see just like 4 inches like in front of my face, and I'm like, girl, you would not have made it. I mean, granted, my vision was probably so bad because I read so much, but I would not have survived.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, mine's pretty much the same. So I feel you.
Yeah.
In chapter 5, the diary entry for Jairus says that he, quote, became something else, something other, something more. Are we going to find out that there is more to Sarai about being bound to a dragon than even we know now? And can her magic do even more than what we have already seen?
I don't feel like it's a terrible spoiler to say, yeah, because there's 2 books left. So yeah, a lot more happens for Sarai. And so, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited to read it because I read that quote and I was like, something other. And I was like, ooh, I kind of got like chills, but in a good way.
Oh, good.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you recommend readers going back to read the brothers' journal entries?
Yeah, that's a thing you should do, maybe. I mean, it
Okay.
depends on how much you like figuring stuff out on your own. Like I love reading a series and then rereading a series and trying to spot all the little things that I didn't notice the first time through. So I put those in my book for you all to have fun with.
Perfect. That's our favorite.
Yeah, it is
Our
my favorite.
favorite is Easter egg hunting.
Yeah.
So, in the book, Saray adopts a sparrow hawk. Is there more to this creature than being a regular animal?
Well, that will be answered in book 2.
Oh.
So make sure you check that one out. We'll see what goes on with Spract. He does stay around for a while, and you will see him in book 2. And I just love him.
Interesting.
I love Spract. I love everything about him. He's the sassiest little hawk. And I didn't really intend when I started writing a hawk to make it a sassy creature, but man, that's how he turned out.
Now, I don't know if you'll answer this one, but is there a chance anybody is controlling his thoughts and or movements? Since that did seem to be something that Wep had asked her, like, can you see through his eyes?
That's a fun question. And you'll find out.
Okay.
That's all we'll get. All right, got it. Noted.
Fair enough. We know some of these we probably won't get like real answers to, but we have to ask because we can't help ourselves.
Just have to try.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You got to shoot your shot.
Exactly.
This is absolutely one of my favorite elements of the book. Is there anything more about the dream realm that you can share or tease for us? Because that's fascinating.
Yeah, book 2. Get ready. Get ready. We're going to learn a lot more about the dream realm in book 2.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Tynan is a hot topic, pun intended. Did this dragon wipe Bale's memory
Oh, wipe his memory.
or add a memory block or whatever is going on with Bale right now?
Yeah. There was a memory thing going on in the first book. There was a memory thing happening. Yeah, I guess you'll have to figure out what that came from.
Okay. My other question is it possible to be bound to multiple dragons? And can dragons be bound to multiple people? Or is it kind of like a 1-1 situation?
Ooh, I love that question. That raises really exciting thoughts that you will learn more about in the trilogy.
Perfect. Those will be all the answers for the next question.
I'm sure there's going to be something I'm going to dive more into.
That's okay.
It's just when you hit on things that like they could be a thing, even if it's like not quite right, which some of that was not quite right, but maybe it like could, then I'm,
Pieces. There's
have to-
pieces there.
Yeah. You have to give your readers a fun little brain activity as they
Exactly.
wait for the next book. So you can't give us all the answers right away.
You got it.
Yeah. Have we met the other champions, and do they know at this point that they're bound, or has that not happened yet?
I can tell you have not yet met all of the Dragonbound. That's what I'll tell you.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah. I was really interested in that question. I was holding my
know.
breath for that one.
I know. I was hoping, I was like, do they know that they're bound?
I know, like-
Is it a secret? She's like, next question.
I know. At the end of the book, Saray is struggling to reconcile the father she knew of her childhood and the man he had become. What else can you tell us about her father's character arc, from being the one who saw her and understood her as a child to a man who saw her as a tool for his own political dealings?
Yeah, his character arc is a sad and heavy one. I think that if he had lived a different life, he could have been a better father. I think he had a lot of desperation. I think there was a big money aspect to some of his actions and how he went from a path that was, not like superstar dad, but at least present and not terrible. and had some real concern for his family and some very obvious and sincere love for his wife, into the person that he becomes. I think there was definitely a money aspect. I think there was an ambition aspect to how and why he changed. And, some negative parts on his behalf, so some selfishness and some greed going on too.
I think characters rooted in desperation often are the most interesting to me, even if they're not good people. I find their character structure very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very interesting to think about his motivations with his allyship and how he treated his children.
And how she remembered him, when she was little, and being he was the one that would let me go outside and play with my brothers and run around and get dirty. And I really felt that for her at the end of the book, where she was really just struggling with fully recognizing who he is now and not who he was.
Yeah, definitely. And that's part of her journey too, is having to face that.
Yeah.
Can we trust that Saray's father is actually dead?
That one I'll give you a yes.
Okay.
Good. All right. I'm like, no body.
I know. I feel like in fantasy, it's hard to know.
Are they coming back?
Yeah. Do we know what Wep and Elle's blessings are?
Well, you don't know right now. You are specifically told through the course of the series. But there are some clues that you might be able to spot.
Okay, so is it possible then to figure it out from book one?
Maybe not both from book one.
Okay, that's fair. We'll take it.
I feel like Elle's might be a little bit easier to try to figure out, because Wep had specifically made a comment about how his blessing in particular is why he likes to play the games. And I know Karly had actually said last night, he's kind of giving low-key vibes. I don't know if there's something going on. Maybe he's the one with the bird, because Bale did see the hawk from his window in the prison. I don't know.
He does. He kind of gives me trickster vibes a little bit. I don't think Elle's a very interesting character to me. He's a very interesting character.
I hadn't thought of him as Loki before, but I kind of love that comparison. Because he is very much about playing his little games.
Yeah. Well, I think he enjoys a little bit of chaos around him. And I think he enjoys orchestrating it a little bit, pushing a domino and seeing what happens. He's a fascinating character to me. I really enjoy those characters where you're you can't quite figure them out. What do they really want out of this? He's just very interesting.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And finally, what, if anything, can you share with us about the next book?
Well, I've told you some of the big ones that I'm willing to share. Is we do see more of the different POVs that we saw in Wings of Life. We continue with Saray, but we see more of Eldrith, we see more of Bale, we see more of each of their journeys and get a bigger piece of what's going on with them. And we get to learn some really fun things about the Dream Realm. But we also see more of the Writ. And I think Inra especially thinks of the Writ as a very small place, because they mostly interact with Drak, where Saray is sent. But it's a much bigger place, and there are some other cities that we get to visit and explore.
Okay.
I love that.
I actually lied. I just thought of more questions.
Okay.
That was not the last one. Was Tynan the dragon that was speaking to Bale at the end of the book? Or just the person in general who's speaking to Bale at the end of the book?
What do you think?
She's like, no. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. I'm going to sit with that. Will we finally get to see the dragons wake up and or escape the Dream Realm?
Things will definitely happen with the dragons. We will see all kinds of things from them. And I think at the end of the book, we do sort of see one starting to wake. So, something's coming.
That's so ominous, but I love it.
I know. If our listeners aren't eager to read book 2 immediately, then I feel that we have failed them.
Yeah.
I know I'm anxious to read book 2, so.
I'm even more anxious to read book 2 now. Like, I was already excited at the cliffhanger of book 1, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, I need book 2 now. November cannot come soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Well, there are some things that happen in book 2 that I just love. I love. There are a lot of things I love in Wings of Life, but also in Scales of Flame, there are a few things that happen that I'm just like, oh, I love revisiting them, even though I wrote them, which maybe is a bit self-inflated sounding, but I just am so excited about them, and I'm so excited for everyone else to read it too.
Yeah. Well, at the time that we're recording this, the book has not yet released. Have you seen any ARC readers or just people in general who have already had access to the book who have caught on to certain Easter eggs and little clues that you thought maybe they wouldn't have found out yet and you're impressed by that? Or have you been able to hide those details and nobody's really quite caught on to things that you maybe thought was a bit more obvious?
Well, big shout out to my writing partner, Danica, who I'm going to talk about now. Because she's my writing partner, she is the lucky person, aside from my editor, who gets to hear a lot more about what's going on, what's happened, why I wrote this, things like that. And before learning some of the secrets, when she read Wings of Life as an arc, she picked up on a lot of things, perhaps just from knowing me. And she asked all these questions and was like, are these things happening? Is this happening? Is this going in this place? And then I was like, stop getting everything right.
Yeah, I was like, did Bale die? And then he was reanimated, and that's why he can't remember. And he's bound to I don't know, spiraling a little bit.
Oh, that's fun and exciting. I like hearing all the ideas.
No comment. No comment. She's like, you're way off.
No, if you're way off, I normally give you a hard no, but not always.
I love a fun spiral, though. That's the best part.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I love doing I love doing fan theories myself, but I kind of love reading and listening to other people's fan theories, like especially on podcasts and things, because people think of so many different things or like investigate and pick up on things that I haven't. And so then it like adds to what I've been doing, and then it makes the spiral bigger.
Yeah, exactly. And now for our real final last question, since we went on a slight little tangent, this is kind of a fun way to close off. Is there a tea or food item that you would like to try from Ritland?
Absolutely. I am like Saray. I need to have Bobby in my life, especially the one that's described in Wings of Life. It's an amalgamation of two real and different buns that I've had in life, but I need them to merge together and have a baby and make Bobby just like what she has. And I haven't. One day, maybe, I will try and make it myself, but I have not yet gone down that road.
Are you a baker?
I am a baker of bread.
Okay.
Not of desserts. I mean, I can make a cake okay-ish, but I don't have that amazing baking skill of like the pastries and all of that. But I do bake breads.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I used to live in Hawaii, and the Bobby just reminded me of malasadas, and I was immediately craving one. And I unfortunately don't know of any malasada places where I live. And I'm like, gosh dang.
Oh, no.
I wish I could eat it. So I was just wondering where that came from.
Yeah, I was hearing about Kinsey's cravings as she was reading the book.
Yay.
Well, this was so much fun. We're always so grateful when authors are able to take the time to come talk to us. So thank you so much for joining us today, Megan. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me and for all the fun questions. And I hope you didn't mind all the ones that I dodged.
No.
Yeah, I had a great time.
No, you got to leave us wanting more.
Yeah, we honestly expect it. We have tried asking really sneaky questions in the past, and authors are really good at dodging the true answers. So we're used to it, but we'll always continue to try.
Yeah.
So we're okay with that.
Got to shoot your shot over here. Basic Book Besties, this is where we leave you today. Thank you so much for listening. Please leave us a review and join us next time. We have even more fun author interviews planned that we are so excited to share. Up next is Stacey McEwen, author of the upcoming release of Forsaken Prophecy, Book 2 in the Artisan Trilogy.
You can join us over on Patreon, where you can access all of our episodes ad-free, 3 days early, and in full video, plus extras like exclusive book club access and shoutouts on the show. You'll find our Patreon link in the show notes, along with all the ways you can support the podcast, like ordering Wings of Life from the links provided in our show notes. You can also purchase Wings of Life wherever books are sold, and we highly recommend supporting indie bookstores when possible.
You won't hear us say this every episode, but we will mention it at the start of each new season. Generative AI is creating a water crisis throughout the world, and as we both live in areas with severe droughts, we will be donating a portion of our Patreon and ad revenue earnings to water conservation efforts. As a book podcast and as creators, we're committing to limiting our use of AI as much as possible. Unfortunately, there are some platforms like CapCut and Canva that use AI features that can't be turned off, but we will never use generative AI platforms like ChatGPT, Meta AI, Claude, Gemini, and so on. We will never knowingly support or promote books that use generative AI in any capacity, including the use of artwork or any of the creative processes.
Additionally, we will be doing work to support our local libraries, whether that's donating money, time, or books. It's important to us to support our communities, remain educated on issues, and do our best to be part of the solution. If you'd like to join our mission, find ways to support your local libraries, don't support generative AI, and make donations to causes that matter to you.
Don't forget to stay in the loop by following us on social media and joining us in our Discord chat. Who knows, you might just meet your next book bestie there. You can also check out our website, basicandbookishpod.com, for info about our upcoming seasons, our contact form, and more. We've linked that down in the show notes.
Other authors on there, you can check them out. Until next time, reach out on Discord to let us know what you thought about Wings of Life. See you there.